The most important factor when determining what kind of sleeping pad that you need, what I consider to be the greens fee to a sleeping pad, R value. What is it? Why does it matter? If you're in the market to buy a pad, watch this video and pay attention. Welcome hikers and welcome back returning hikers to the channel Follow Bigfoot, where knowledge is our niche on everything outdoors. We like to take pride in giving you practical knowledge to not just make your hike or through hike successful, but also comfortable. So today we're going to talk about something that is really important when you're determining a sleeping pad, and that's R value. R value is the measurement of thermal resistance that measures the ability of heat to transfer from one side of an object to another. Essentially, the R value is the pad's ability to be able to resist the flow of heat transfer from your body through the pad to the cold ground. The higher of the pad's R value means the greater resistance, which means the better that the insulating properties are of that pad. Now, after explaining that, the next question probably seems a little bit dumb, but why is R value really that important? Well, of course, if you're out there and you're sleeping on the ground, it is direly important because the ground wants to suck that body heat away from your body, and the only thing that's preventing that is that sleeping pad. So the insulating properties of that pad is extremely important for you to be able to stay cold, and in some cases to be able to survive those cold, treacherous nights out there in the backcountry. Now, currently today, there are no industry standards of how each company is held accountable to how they determine this measurement of R value. So every company is a little bit different. So much so that some companies don't even use R value. The two that are most popular are Big Agnes and Nemo. They actually use temperature ratings, where most other popular companies use R values. Now, all of that is about to change. Most recently, in 2018, ASTM International passed a new sleeping pad standard and how companies are going to be able to calculate each pad's R value. It's all going to be the same way, which means no matter which company you look at, the R value, a 2.5 R value, is going to be relatively the same company by company. You know, it's kind of like going out and shopping for clothes. You have a 32-inch size waist. You go into some places and you might buy a 30, and you go to others, it might be a 34. Now, the new standard of how this is going to level the playing field for measuring R value out there, essentially they take a hot plate and a cold plate and stick the pad in between those two plates, and they measure the thermal resistance in 3 different areas of the pad. Then they take 3 other like pads, the same pad, and then they do the same thing, measure the thermal resistance in 3 different areas, and then they average those together then to get the R value of the pad. So this is just incredible news because there should be a standard out there in determining R value. R value is relative to different people, different body types. Women, for example, need to increase by about 1 because they have less body mass than men. And that's just a general guideline. It's more of the body mass, the body type. So folks that have less body mass are going to need more R value. Which brings me to the next factor, which is whether or not you are a warm or a colder sleeper. Me, I sleep warmer. My R value can go a lot further than other folks. So there are some relative things to you, your body mass, and really how you sleep that will determine your R value calculation that you need based on the conditions that you're going to see out in the backcountry. Based from my experience and research that I've done, I put together some calculations that are kind of guidelines or maybe even starting points for folks out there that are new to backpacking in determining the R value and what's right for you. I put them into 2 different buckets. One for cold sleepers and one for warm sleepers. For the folks out there that have less body mass, you are probably going to be on the colder side, and of course the opposite on the other. But that doesn't mean that folks that have lower body masses might just sleep warm. Starting off with cold sleepers for the summer months, and I'm going to define summer months of anything that is going to be down to 40 degrees and above. So these months, you are not going to see anything that's going to be colder than 40 degrees. You can get by with an R value somewhere between 2.0 and on down. Now, the 2.0 R value would equate to if you see temperatures no lower than 40 degrees. Temperatures that are higher than that, if you're seeing lows that are 50 and above, you can get by with less R value. For 3-season backpacking conditions, which I am going to put temperatures of the 20 to 40 degree range, you are going to have an R value of somewhere between 2.0, and again, that's on the high end, that would be for 40 degrees, all the way down to 4.0 if you're anywhere down to lows of 20. And then lastly, winter conditions, this would be from 0 degrees all the way to 20. You are going to have an R value somewhere between 4.0 and 6.0. Now let's flip to warmer sleepers. For the same R value of anywhere between 0 to 2.0, you will be able to get somewhere down to as low as about 36 degrees. Now for 3-season backpacking temperatures, as low as 10 degrees all the way to 36, you will be in that 2.0 to 4.0 R value range. And then lastly, for the winter conditions, this would be for R values of 4.0 to 6.0. You can get by with anything from 10 degrees all the way down to minus 15. Now again, these are just general guidelines and starting points depending on if you're a warm or cold sleeper, if you have bigger body mass to a lower body mass. Now for me, again, I'm a warmer sleeper. My go-to pad is the Thermarest Nailor X-Lite. I use that all the way down to about 10 degrees. This is an R value of 3.2, and it only weighs 12 ounces, which is why I bring it with me out there, because the weight is just phenomenal for the R value. But the coldest temperature that I saw when I was on the John Muir Trail, and it got to somewhere between 10 to 12 degrees at night, and I was still comfortable. Now the coldest temperature that I have ever slept outside was minus 8 degrees, and that was on a winter excursion that I did up in northern Minnesota on the Superior Hiking Trail, and I used the Thermarest X-Therm. That thing has an R value off the chart of 5.7 to only 15 ounces of weight. I don't know of a more versatile pad out there for the weight and R value ratio than the Thermarest X-Therm. Other pads that are popular that I see on the trail, for just summer conditions, one of the more popular pads out there is a Climate Static. This thing has an R value of 1.3 and weighs 18 ounces. They have came out with a newer version of the Static. I think it's the Static 2, and it's dropped some weight with maintaining the same R value of 1.3. Now this pad for most people is only going to be valuable in the summer months. Now most backpackers and especially thru hikers are going to be looking for a 3-season pad, something that's versatile that they can use in a variety of temperatures. Here are some of the more popular options. I already mentioned the X-Lite. The next is the Z-Lite by Thermarest. The Z-Lite Soul, this is a foam pad. This is not a blow up air mattress, but this is a foam pad. This comes in at 2.6 R value and weighs 14 ounces. Now the other pad out there that challenges, if anything out there challenges the Thermarest Nailor X-Lite, is the X-Pad SynMat HL. This comes in with an R value just slightly higher than the X-Lite, 3.3, and it's got a weight of 12.3 ounces. Sea to Summit also makes a popular option out there for thru hikers. It is the UL insulated pad. This is an R value of 3.3 and comes in at 15.5 ounces. And then the other two companies, the ones that I mentioned, don't use R value. They actually use temperature ratings, which you have to be careful with that, especially if you are a new backpacker, because the temperature rating it can be very relative to your body mass and of course if you're a warm or a colder sleeper, so you just have to be careful out there. The next is the Nemo Tensor. This is quite a popular option that I see hikers using out there and thru hikers alike. Temperature rating of 15 degrees and weighs 16 ounces. Now, I've not heard a lot of negative feedback out there with temperature ratings on this pad, but again, you have to be very careful with that. Now, a pad that I am extremely excited about that is going to be available in spring, and I think you might even be able to get them right now at REI. It's made by Thermarest. It's called the Uberlite. This thing has an R value of 2.0 and a very sick weight of 8.8 ounces for their regular pad, 8.8 ounces. That's crazy. Now, this pad is being considered a 3-season backpacking pad, and for what's comfortable for me, I'll be able to use this thing probably right down to freezing conditions. But for other folks out there that have a less body mass, or aren't as comfortable in colder conditions, it might not be something that they can use below 40, but it really depends on you. But I'm really excited about this pad. It is the next sleeping pad that I am going to purchase, and it's going to be able to knock 3.2 ounces off my base weight, and I'm just stoked for it. So more to come on that. I'll be getting that here sometime in the next couple months. Now, one thing that I have not mentioned in this video yet is that sleeping pads are additive, meaning that you can pair a sleeping pad up with a foam pad and add R value to that. A very popular option for winter backpackers out there is pairing the Thermarest Z-Lite sole with their sleeping pad and adding that extra 2.6 R value to it. This is popular especially for the backpackers out there that are going to be sleeping on top of snow. So that about wraps up this video. If you learned anything new in this video or you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up. If there is something that you would like to see me talk about, a topic maybe on backpacking, through hiking, it doesn't matter, something on the outdoors, throw them below in the comments. Or if there's something that I missed in this video that you would like to add, throw that in as well. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do and click the little bell icon so that you get notifications every time that I upload a video and publish it on YouTube. Thanks everyone for staying tuned into this video, and I'll see you guys next time.